It's a complicated question. You know, why should you care about blind cavefish that live a couple hundred feet below us? Why should you care about little rainforest frogs? What I generally tell people when they come to the zoo and they ask that question, I tell them before I answer it, go home and take an inventory of all of the medicines that you have in your house, whether it's in a medicine bag or cabinet or whatever it is, wherever you keep it. Take an inventory and then sit down at your computer and Google where each one of those medicines came from. You cannot come up with a list where at least 75% of the medicines are not directly derived from nature. And even if you don't care about the environment, and even if you don't care about forests and you don't think in a green way, your life undoubtedly will depend on one of these medicines at some point or another.
So as far as, looking at hiring a new employee, this job doesn't just entail just the basic husbandry of animals. It's not just taking care of, the raking and shoveling and the cleaning and feeding. There's a lot more that goes into zookeeping. There's the training aspect. There's, to be, do enrichment. A lot of times it takes a lot of creativity to come up with some really cool enrichment items that can challenge the animals to do like the natural behaviors. There's also some exhibit maintenance, some basic maintenance work that has to go in to kind of keep at the habitats. But also, the guest interaction part of it is huge too. The guests that walk around, they get so excited to be able to talk to an animal care specialist about a certain animal. The animal care specialist can talk to them about, the specifics of the animal, the name of the animal, how old the animal is, the things the animal likes to do. Just having those one-on-one interactions with guests is huge, for that guest with an animal care specialist. There's also a lot of opportunity for, there's more official behind the scenes that the animal care staff participate in, with showing the guests the animals in the back of house areas and telling them. And then there's also the more formal presentations as well. There's interviews, there's, animal chats. So there's a lot of opportunity for, for the animal care specialist to talk to guests in like one-on-one settings, but also in big group settings. So be able to, be comfortable with public speaking is also huge. So animal care specialists, they can kind of do it all. They are kind of the jack of all trades, be able to, handle whatever comes their way. So.
All the primates are in Mammals 1. We have lemurs, the hyenas in our area as well, and the hippos. So basically all the animal care specialists, their days are focused on taking care of those animals. So that's feeding, training, cleaning areas, making sure everything is in the best condition and standard for them so that they can be viewed by the public and everyone can come to the zoo and kind of enjoy everything. And it looks very nice and natural. And it's just a good experience for both animals and the public. Also, some of us might not be ever fortunate to take a casual vacation to Africa or Asia, to go see maybe wildlife sanctuaries out there or see animals in a natural setting. Zoos provide that opportunity for people to come and see an animal and then learn about them. And then that education motivates people to protect them, right? So you come to the zoo and you see Balam, our male jaguar, and you're like, he is so beautiful, I want to do everything I can to take care of them. So you go online and you find places to donate, conservation. Even here at the zoo, you can round up when you're buying things at a store, at the concession stand, and that goes towards all the conservations that we donate to. So it's just important to visit zoos and understand that we are here to provide that for people, but also to keep these animals in the spotlight.
We're the Center for Conservation and Research, but the zoo does a whole lot of other stuff as well, such as, allocating funds to a specific conservation project that occurs maybe not in the United States, but somewhere else for a species that we have in our care. And I think people forget about that because they just see a cute, cuddly animal, but a lot of these species are only found in zoos and they're extinct or I think the term is extant in the wild, meaning they're only in captivity. And for these animals, we're not at endangered yet, but we're definitely at threatened. And if we are not rehabbing the land and we're not working for like repopulating, we could get to the point that they are extinct. So zoos play a really vital role in that, and I think people forget about that. And I wish they thought about that a little bit more. We care very deeply for our animals and their welfare as well. So.
And having spent most of my life out in wild places, I can tell you that what we have left is going very quickly. If we don't act to conserve these things, we will lose them very quickly. And I think for the reasons I stated before, it's very important that we don't lose these things, because your generation's medicines and your kids' medicines will come from biodiversity, what's left of it. Without biodiversity, we could lose the cures to cancer, viruses, you name it. And that's where our medicines will come from and where they have come from in the past. So I think it's important for everybody to pay attention to the value of biodiversity, even though we don't talk about it a lot in the news, and this is sort of the silent story running in the background. When you hear about Brazilian rainforests being on fire every year, or a palm oil grove going in and clearing out a whole bunch of rainforest, every time those things happen, we're losing the forests and all the animals that live in the forests. Those animals in those forests represent your futures.